Now, let me ask you, you have number three on your list. What's number
I
three?
do. The other thing is, I think that, and I'm a homeschooler, so this is implied in our home. Your kids should always be learning, and they should value education. Obviously, we don't value education necessarily coming from a specific building. It doesn't have to, but we're lucky in that we live in a time where education or opportunities to learn are everywhere. And I think that's something that you have to instill in not just a girl child, in any child. But I personally think it's more important for a girl child because we seem to sometimes, for whatever reason, it seems more important to educate males than it is to educate women. And of course, I'm speaking as an African. That has been a thing with a lot of African countries. They're more eager to educate males than they are to educate females.
Hmm.
But always be learning, whether it's in your relationships, whether it's in school, whether it's in your environment. You should instill a mindset of always learning. And another thing is, again, going back to conflicts, going back to failures. When you look at your failures and the conflicts that you go through in life as an opportunity to learn, it really does change your life.
Interesting. Okay, so education. Okay, so we got confidence boosters, affirmations, and learning. And and I'll add to that. You and I are both college professors. I would say former college professors, but we teach. We probably teach more now than we did when we were,
Right.
working for the man, whatever that
The
is.
building, yes.
Yeah, we just happen to be independent, able to work for ourselves, and we've never been happier. I know you haven't, and your family's doing well, and you homeschool your kids, and your husband has more access to you. Your kids see you every day, so they're being positively affirmed. I know that with myself, I'm more available with my family because I work from home, and I still get to teach online and stuff like that. And I think that learning piece is so important because learning, especially when you talk about people of color, I think learning and education and knowledge just have such a different meaning. It doesn't mean just going to school because we know that going to school sometimes you can end up learning a whole lot of stuff that's not good for you, especially in
Yes.
America. And what I do with my kids is I sometimes push them to go to YouTube University. I'll grab a list of videos that I think they should watch, and I'll just say, okay, watch all these videos and let's talk about some of these ideas. Come watch your dad doing business. Listen in on some phone calls, things like that, because I want them always learning. The thing I always tell them is that learning is a lifelong endeavor, and that and then also with the young ladies in my family, I teach them. I just had a conversation with my daughter about being a boss, and we always talk about, okay, how does a boss think versus an employee? Would a boss do that? No, and I'd say no. A boss makes moves. That means that that you don't sit still in your life. You move forward. You're always growing. You're always trying new things. You're always adapting. You're always exploring. You're always exposing yourself to new ideas. That's learning, right? Going around the world is learning. Going into Google and YouTube and even Wikipedia and looking up things that you need to know, that's learning. So if they call me and they say, well, I don't know how to do this, or I don't understand, what is that? I'll say, no, Google it. Did you Google it?
Right.
And they'll say, oh, that's right. And so they'll Google it on their phone, and they'll have all this information in literally 20 seconds that some people go years without because they don't take the time to use the web to look things up. I believe that the internet, we're in the middle of an information revolution, and the internet is, to me, better than any university that's ever existed in the history of the world. There's never been this
Absolutely.
much knowledge and information right at your fingertips. I have a phone right here that contains more information than Harvard,
Any
Stanford,
university. Right.
Yale put together, right? So I think that's really important. Lifelong learning, absolutely critical. I had to jump in and support that point. I hope you don't mind.